What are the most reliable new vehicles that you can buy for 2024? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Up Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. For this video, I'm going to share the longest lasting, most reliable new vehicles that you can buy for 2024 that any reputable mechanic would strongly recommend, and that have topped every major survey this year from reputable sources including Consumer Reports, iSeeCars, and CarEdge. But before getting into it, remember, if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. So let's start this video off with the vehicle in the last place, which is the Honda Pilot. Consumer Reports recently released their survey of the vehicles that are most likely to reach 200,000 miles, or around 300,000 kilometers, and the vehicle that they picked for the 12th spot was the Honda Pilot. The Pilot also reached the number 6 spot in the iSeeCars annual reliability survey. They also gave it a reliability score of 9.1 out of 10, which is one of the highest ratings for a 3-row SUV. And CarEdge also seemed to agree, where they gave the Honda Pilot a grade rating of A-, which is pretty good. And this is one that I would also have to agree with. I have long recommended the Honda Pilot as a safe, reliable choice if you want a large 3-row crossover SUV. It has an excellent reputation for longevity, a very durable and well-proven naturally aspirated V6 engine, and it also has a great reputation among mechanics. And next up, in the number 11 spot, we have the Honda Civic. In the recent Consumer Reports study, the Honda Civic came in the 11th spot among vehicles that are most likely to reach 200,000 miles, or around 300,000 kilometers. iSeeCars also gave the Civic a very good score of 8.8 out of 10 for reliability. And the same is also true of CarEdge, that gave the Honda Civic an A+ grade rating. And really, that should be a surprise to no one, because the Civic has long had a really solid reputation, which also explains why they have very high resale value on the used car market. And next up on the list, in the number 10 spot, we have a mid-sized truck, with the winner being the Toyota Tacoma. Consumer Reports put the Tacoma at number 10 of vehicles most likely to reach 200,000 miles. The iSeeCars survey also rated the Tacoma extremely highly at the number 7 spot, and 41.7% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. They also gave it a reliability score of 9.2 out of 10, which is one of the highest of almost any truck that you can buy. CarEdge is the only one that gave the Tacoma a slightly lower score, only a B grade, which is about average when it comes to trucks. Now, even though the data is not unanimous on this one, I would have to say the Tacoma is a really safe choice if you want a long-lasting, reliable truck that's not going to give you a lot of headaches. It has one of the best reputations for reliability among mid-sized trucks, which also explains why it has one of the highest resale values in the truck market. And the same is also true of the vehicle in the number 9 spot, which is the Toyota Forerunner. According to the Consumer Reports survey, the Forerunner is the number 9th vehicle most likely to reach 200,000 miles. iSeeCars also gave the Forerunner a really good score, a 41% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, and a 9.2 out of 10 rating for reliability overall. And CarEdge also seemed to agree, giving the Forerunner an A+ grade. This one should really be no surprise. The Forerunner is one of the most solid, tank-like, and durable SUVs that you can buy on the market right now. It's one of the few SUVs that hasn't caved into modern technology, even though it does have plenty of modern features. But the fundamentals that make the Forerunner such a good SUV, a durable, well-proven 4-liter V6 engine, and an old 5-speed automatic transmission, are part of what make it such a reliable, long-lasting truck. And next up, in the number 8 spot, we have the highest ranked 3-row SUV of the entire survey, which is the Toyota Highlander. Consumer Reports put the Highlander at number 8 for vehicles most likely to reach 200,000 miles, and this is true for both the regular gas engine and the hybrid version as well. The Highlander also received an 8.7 out of 10 in the iSeeCars reliability survey, and a 17.5% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. And CarEdge also gives the Highlander a really good score, an A+ grade when it comes to overall reliability. And this is all part of the reason why I often recommend the Highlander in many of my SUV videos, especially for someone who wants a long-lasting 3-row family SUV. The Highlander has over 2 decades of proven reliability behind it, something that most other SUVs in this class are not able to claim. It's also safe, well designed, and as mentioned before, you can also get it as a fuel-efficient hybrid, which makes it even more appealing. And next up, in the number 7 spot of the survey, we have a compact sedan, which is the Toyota Corolla. According to the Consumer Reports survey, the Corolla is the 7th most likely vehicle to reach 200,000 miles. iSeeCars gave it an 8.7 out of 10 for reliability, and CarEdge also gave it an A grade, which means all the surveys are pretty much unanimous in recommending the Corolla. And I would say that most mechanics would have to agree. If you want an economical, reliable small car, you really can't find a car that's much better than the Corolla. And next up, in the number 6 spot of the survey, we have a full-size pickup truck, which is the Ford F-150. Now I have to admit, this one I was a little bit surprised to see as the top pick. If I were to bet on which full-size pickup truck is most likely to be the most reliable of all, I would have likely picked the Toyota Tundra instead. But according to the Consumer Reports survey, the F-150 is the 6th most likely vehicle to reach 200,000 miles. iSeeCars also gave it an 8.6 out of 10 for reliability, and even CarEdge gave it an A grade rating. Now it is true that with certain drivetrains, the F-150 has improved in quality over the years. For example, the 5-liter V8 engine and also the 3.5 twin-turbo EcoBoost V6 have both now been around for well over a decade. And most of the issues that they used to have in the past, for the most part, have now been sorted. So if you are shopping among domestic brand trucks, the F-150 seems to be one of the safer ones that you can buy. And next up, in the number 5 spot of the survey, we have a minivan. And the most reliable minivan of all is the Toyota Sienna. According to the survey, the Sienna is the 5th most likely vehicle to reach 200,000 miles or around 300,000 kilometers. iSeeCars also gave the Sienna an 8.9 out of 10 for reliability, and CarEdge also gives the Sienna a really good score, an A grade rating. And I would say that a lot of mechanics and experts, as well as myself, would have to agree. If you want a reliable, long-lasting minivan, you really can't do any better than the Toyota Sienna. And next up on the survey, in the number 4 spot, we have a hybrid. And the most reliable hybrid of all is the Toyota Prius. The Prius was one of the only vehicles of the survey that received a top-notch score from every single source. Not only did Consumer Reports put it in the number 4 spot for reliability, but CarEdge also gave it a reliability score of 9.2 out of 10, and CarEdge also gave it an A+ grade. So all the experts seem to agree if you want a well-made hybrid that's not only fuel efficient, but also extremely reliable and long-lasting, the best choice that you can go for is the Toyota Prius. And next up, in the number 3 spot, we have a compact crossover SUV, and the pick is the Honda CR-V. Not only is the CR-V the 3rd most likely vehicle to reach 200,000 miles, according to Consumer Reports, but CarEdge also gave the CR-V a 9 out of 10 for reliability, and CarEdge also gave it a really good score, an A+ grade. So all the sources seem to agree on this one. If you want a reliable, well-made compact SUV, the Honda CR-V is one of the best choices that you can go for. And now we're coming up to the most reliable vehicles of the entire list. In the number 2 spot, we have a mid-size sedan, which is the Honda Accord. According to Consumer Reports, the Honda Accord is the 2nd most likely vehicle to reach 200,000 miles, or around 300,000 kilometers. iSeeCars also gave the Honda Accord a 9.2 out of 10 for reliability, and CarEdge also gave it an A grade, which is a solid rating for reliability. And even though most consumers are more interested in SUVs and crossovers these days, if you are okay with just going with a regular mid-sized car, clearly the Accord is one of the best ones that you can buy. But there is one other mid-sized car that beat the Honda Accord for the number 1 spot of the entire list, and that vehicle is the Toyota Camry. That's right, according to Consumer Reports, the Camry is the most likely vehicle to reach 200,000 miles and do it as reliably as possible. iSeeCars also gives the Camry a solid rating, a 9 out of 10 for reliability. And the same is also true of CarEdge, which gave the Camry an A grade. Clearly, if you want a well-made, long-lasting mid-size sedan, the Camry is the number 1 choice. Now clearly there is a major trend going on here. Every single vehicle on this list was either a Toyota or a Honda. The only exception to that on the Consumer Reports survey was the F-150, but aside from that, every other vehicle, which included vehicles from almost every class, was a Honda or Toyota. And iSeeCars seems to have a very similar conclusion. Honda as a brand in general is 17.2% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, which puts it in the number 3 spot of all car brands. And Toyota, well, according to iSeeCars, that brand has the best chance of reaching 250,000 miles, 19.5%, which puts it in the number 1 spot of the entire survey. Now obviously it can be open to a little bit of questioning when all of the data is only coming from one source, but when you have all this information coming from 3 different reputable sources, as well as many mechanics also agreeing with the exact same conclusions, well, I guess you can say that the information is going to be pretty accurate. So after seeing this video, which of these vehicles would you consider buying? Or would you go for something else instead? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at my other videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. And if you need additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.